Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tri-State Stooges podcast. We figured we'd do a little quick episode today because of all the Yankees, BS that's been going on with the injury bug. Um, let's get right into it, gentlemen. How are we feeling today, Mike, after the Bellinger news we just got?
Um, seeing that Bellinger is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, they're saying it was a grade 2 strain, I believe. Um, I think the Yankees are now going to go. I know I was saying last episode, Hunter Goodman, all that bullshit, but we have too much to lose now. We're out Judge, we're out Stanton, now we're out Belly. We're probably not going to see him until what? Late September, early October.
I think there's a really good chance that we see Jackson Dart and Geno Smith start a football game in the regular season before we see any of those three guys play, unfortunately, if at all. I mean, Bellinger, he'll be back for playoffs in grade two. I'm thinking he's probably going to be closer to the 6 weeks, if I'm being honest. And what's the point in rushing him back unless they really start slipping in the standings? But
Well,
right
yeah, they're
now,
going to be
you're
careful.
still, what, 13 games over 500 somehow, and only 3 games out of first place? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Well, yeah,
Um,
you're going to want to keep your guys on the bench, keep them outside of playing games because you look at a team like the Rays. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a point in time in the playoffs where we're going to play the Rays, so you're going to want to keep them 100%. I firmly believe that Stanton's probably not going to come back until playoffs. Judge is probably not going to come back until playoffs either. Bellinger, all right, you have him for the last like 10, 20 games of the season, and then you let him do whatever he has to do and stuff like that. So it's do or die for this team right now, and it sucks. It fucking sucks, but that's just how the way it's gonna go.
Reaper, what's your unbiased opinion here on the situation?
Well, I'm always going to be biased. I don't know what boy Cullits is talking about over here. It's going to be do or die. It don't really seem that way. You are in the AL, so it's pretty much cakewalk to the
Yo, shut
playoffs.
the
But
fuck up. Shut the fuck.
um,
I mean,
a-
it
am I
is
wrong?
relatively true though. He's
I
been,
am very wrong. But
I
it's a
know, but he's
very
I
been
weak
think
amazing
league.
last episode. That's the problem. This isn't
I
last
think
episode. This is episode 2.
I think I think they'll be all right. The trade deadline coming up. I think they'll pick up someone for the outfield and fill in a spot either where Judge was or where Belly was, fill in a spot. But I think they're definitely going to go out for someone in the trade deadline, an outfielder.
I agree with that. That's a good take there, Justin. I think before the Bellinger injury, we were going to try to skirt by without going for an outfielder. I don't think it's going to be someone significant. I'm pretty convinced that it's not going to be anyone major. You're talking just someone that's going to hold us over for a couple weeks. He's going to be okay, not great. But I think if anything, these injuries that, with Bellinger, with Judge and Stanton, more than anything, it just proves we need Lombard to be pulled up ASAP. I mean, this is getting to a point. We need the bat in the lineup, and Caballero can play the outfield, if absolutely needed, which I prefer not to, but Jazz did play center field for a couple years. I just think it's really important we pull Lombard up. We have little to no offense. We have two, three, if you include Paul Goldschmidt, consistent hitters left on this roster. And even Jazz isn't very consistent. He's only consistent at the end of games when it matters, I guess. But, you know, eh, eh, we need another bat in this lineup. And Lombard has nothing left to prove at the AAA level in terms of his bat. I mean, even if we're DHing the guy, if we have to do that, then we have to do that. I don't care, but we need more production coming out of the offensive system right now. So
I
we
think
got to pull
touching
him up.
touch touching on what you were saying about getting not a crazy name because I don't think you guys really need a crazy name outfielder right now unless maybe it was a rental deal. Then I can see you guys maybe going for a crazy name. But touching on the Mets, maybe you guys go after Tyrone Taylor. He's not
That's
a crazy name. He's on a good contract. And He's been putting up some numbers recently. He's a
Yeah, yeah, Reaper.
great
I actually
defensive
think
player
that's a
too.
great take from you right there. One of the names I was thinking about was honestly him when I was thinking about what guys they could potentially go after. Also, I mean, here's the thing: the Twins probably wouldn't do this, but Byron Buxton is out there. He is out there. He's only
I don't
on
think they
being
would get rid of
paid
Byron.
15 million a year though. He's only getting paid 15 a year, but they are on the verge of a playoff spot right now. He is kind of the face over there, so I doubt they're going to be selling like that. But if he's available, I mean, that's a
I don't think
no-brainer
they
in
Price
my
is right.
opinion.
Anyone's available.
I don't think they would do it. And if there was a time for Byron Buxton to leave a team, it would be towards the off season. Because if they're pushing for a playoff run right now, why would they try and trade? Or why would they trade him away? I mean, say the Twins don't make the
You say
playoffs, then
that,
sure.
Cutlet, though. Cutlets, you say that, but then last year they were 4 games under 500 at the trade deadline. Four. That's it. 4 games
Well,
under 4 games out of a play. Sorry, 4 games out of a playoff spot. 4 games under 500, and yet they still decide to sell off half of their team, pretty much all of their good players at that time. I remember it because I remember seeing all over the media that the Twins fans were actually livid about it because they're like, "What are you just giving up on the team right now?" So now, would they do that again and piss the fans off a second time, especially with the guy? Probably not. However, they've done it before. What's there to
that's the
say that
thing. You
it's
don't know if that's going to
impossible?
happen. And I mean, I feel like Minnesota these past couple of years is kind of like almost kind of like Pittsburgh. Like they don't go like obviously they sign players, but they don't spend that big money like guys like the Dodgers do. Like that's why I'm saying if they're pushing for a playoff run right now because the AL is so open, then obviously they're going to keep Byron Buxton. If you're going to go after an outfielder or anybody like that, you're going to want to go and attack the NL because that's a stronger division. That's a stronger conference. They're not going to like. I feel like the Yankees wouldn't go after some sort of AL team. You know,
They could
maybe
maybe
they
go
would.
after George
Maybe they would
Springer.
because it's so open. But then again, it's so open to that anybody could take a playoff spot right now. It doesn't matter. The two teams that are guaranteed right now are the Rays and the Yankees. That's it. Maybe the fucking Red Sox. Maybe. And that's a huge fucking maybe. You don't know. But because the AL is so open, everybody's fighting for that spot that I mean, regardless, they're going to get their fucking asses kicked in the playoffs by one of these teams. They're not going to make it far. It's either the Rays or the Yankees in the World Series. There's no question about that.
I disagree there. I don't think it's as much of a cakewalk for the. I mean, it is it is a cakewalk, but now with all the
Here's
injuries and missing players on your guys' team, I don't think it's that much of a cakewalk for you guys
That's what it
anymore.
comes down to, and I think
I think this is
the
going to be a big
Reaper,
trade deadline for you guys.
as unfortunate as it is, I think the Reaper is correct on this. Like, it comes down to the fact that we have to look at and I said this last episode, we have to look at the rest of this season as if Judge and Stan are not coming back because there's still no timetable. We got a month and close to 2 months until, it's all do or die time here. And still no timetable on either one of those guys. My prediction is that Stanton will be back about mid September, mid early September. I think Stanton will be back. I don't know if Judge is going to get to that point. I don't. If anything, I think we're very lucky if he's back with a week to spare, in my opinion. Bellinger will be back. But even having, Stan return to the lineup before playoffs start running up and he gets a little heated back up into his groove, even that's going to be big. But I agree with the Reaper. It's not going to be a cakewalk if these injuries continue to pile up. And it's like that feeling that, that can go wrong continues to keep going wrong for the Yankees right now in terms of injuries, all different kinds of things like that. And yet somehow, some way, we're still only 3 games out of first place. So
Yeah. And
Yeah, but you also in the AL, you still have a lot of good teams, you know. I don't think it's going to be just the Rays and the Yankees. That's who's going to go to the World Series. You know, you still have the White Sox. They're having a crazy season this year. The Rangers aren't doing so bad either, you know. They could maybe steal the spot in the World Series also.
I mean, even Detroit, if you look at them, if they start getting hot at the right time, you saw what they did last year. They were what, or 2 years ago, there were 12, 13 games behind 500, and then they slip into a playoff spot, win the wild card, go to the division. Like
I think you're
there are a
talking
lot of
about
teams.
last season.
There's a lot
I'm
of
not.
teams that could be good, but as of right now, of what we're looking at, there's nobody that can really compete with these two teams. And obviously, it's July. You don't know what's going to come in September and October. But when that time comes, we'll see who's really about it and who's really not.
The
And
craziest part of sorry, continue, Carlos.
don't
What's
get
up?
me wrong. I want the Yankees to have a crazy, trade deadline. I want them to go crazy and stuff because you saw what Cashman did last year with the bullpen and trading for a bunch of other guys and, players that didn't look super hot and, you know, ended up playing great in August and September. So look at Caballero now, you know, now he's a starter. Regardless of whoever's on the field, he's always going to be on the field. I don't I don't think he's the best at outfield. We've seen him make a lot of mistakes. Then again, we've seen Volpe. We saw Volpe yesterday drop a free shallow fucking pop fly in the infield.
LA Demon.
Like I would love to have George Lombard up playing in the majors, and I'd love to see Spencer Jones excel in what he's been doing because we saw his first home run. It was a fucking nuke. We can see what he does. 6'7" with great speed. He's a great outfielder. He plays really good defense. Like we have guys, but the other problem is that, and why I want them to go crazy in the trade deadline is we've seen where our prospects have ended up, and they've kind of just been they've been kind of mid. They
Yeah.
have some good months, and then they have a terrible month. They have good month, terrible month, and then they can't perform in the playoffs. Like we haven't seen a good Yankees team since what 2017.
Yeah.
There's no debating that Cashman needs to make moves. He needs to start making serious moves. Oh my God, yeah. We
Oh,
need
that
to
was
see
actually
Cashman
that
start
funny.
making serious moves if he wants to bring this team to another pennant, if they want to see 28. And he's not doing that. He hasn't done that. And I know can Aaron Boone can make moves. He can make smart decisions, but he's Cashman's bitch. And
Agreed.
that's the problem. That's the problem. We need to start being more aggressive with these kinds of things because when we're not, we lose to the fucking Blue Jays in the divisional. We saw what we did, 2 years ago when we had Soto and stuff like that. We had Alex Verdugo on our team. He hit 10 home runs that season. And we still went to the World Series.
And then got
Yeah.
curb stomped by the Dodgers.
Yeah. So did you, pal. Anyway, so
Put up a
the
better fight than the Yankees.
The fact that the Mets got into the playoffs that year is a fucking miracle. Don't even get me fucking started.
You guys
And then
lost
the
in
year
what, five
after,
anyway,
games? We
and then the
lost in
fucking
anyway,
year
six.
because
after, you had the
okay.
biggest fucking choke of the season. So I don't want to hear that.
I mean, I'm just
You
not
got
gonna
curb
entertain.
stomped by the Blue
I'm
Jays.
not gonna entertain the guy who's genuinely supporting a team that is quite literally the worst in the league, factually the worst in the league.
All right,
Anyway,
the sell-offs is going to be great.
anyway,
Going to be
back to the
great.
back to the point at hand here. I think Mike is kind of right, and I also think the Reaper are both right. I think both of you guys are right, and the reason I say that is because you know, I think it's not a cakewalk if these injuries continue to pile up, and it really all depends on who's back when. But at the same time, somehow they've been having, a relatively good run these last couple weeks, even with these injuries, and I don't understand how that's happening. And they've been against solid teams. Well, I do understand how it's happening. It's because of the pitching. I mean, at the end of the day, like the pitching has been absolutely incredible. Game after
Can't take
game
that
after
away.
game. It looks like Garrett Cole's on his way to another, Garrett Cole performance right now. Just checking the score as we're currently recording.
Littler had a Cy Young season.
Yeah.
Like
So,
you can't take the pitching away, but if you can't get offense moving with fantastic pitching like that, then what's the point of
and I
what's the
agree
point of
with
it all?
that, but here's where I'll agree with Justin. I think if the Yankees happen to get the one seed, we're cruising to the World Series. I don't doubt that at all. Aaron Boone, believe it or not, this is a stat. You can look it up. Has never lost a series in his entire career as a manager where he has had home field advantage in the series. Google that. It is completely a fact. It is a true fact. And that's crazy to think about. I mean, the Yankees have been in the playoffs how many times since he's been a manager? Quite a few times. And they've never lost a series where they've been the home team advantage. Like, the key to all of this is to somehow put up enough offense. The pitching needs to continue over these next 2 months, and they somehow need to gain that spot in first place. They need to close on the Rays. The Rays are seemingly starting to fall down a little bit. They're not as hot as they were earlier in this season, and we need to take advantage of that now. And that's why at the deadline, you need to go out, you need to get a fourth outfielder. I don't care who it is. It just needs to be somebody that's better than fucking Schumann. Like, who is this guy that we're putting out there in Schumann? He's a joke. Beside the point, we also
Well,
need to pull up
well,
Lombard. We need the extra bat. I'm telling you, this kid is gonna be special. Once they pull him up, he's never gonna look back. It's the truth. I mean, he's not a Volpe. Volpe had nowhere close to the stats that Lombard has right now in AAA when they pulled Volpe up. It's like, what are we waiting on to pull the guy up? They took him off the Patriots lineup. He hasn't pitched in the and played in the minors in the last couple games. Clearly, they're thinking about it. Clearly they're holding on it. Just pull the friggin' trigger already. Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, we need the
well,
offense now.
I
We're
did
so
tune into
down.
the Yankees game. I did tune into the Yankees game before we started this podcast a little bit. And I did watch Max Schumann hit a nice little RBI double, the two RBI double. So, but anyway, no, I do agree with you, Sony B. But you also have to realize, like, you got to get the bats hot at the right time. We obviously know that Judge is not the best in the playoffs, and we've seen it year after year after year. We saw it last year. He got hot at the right time, and he essentially carried that playoff team to where it was. It wasn't good. We lost in the
And
divisional.
Stanton disappeared for one time in his entire career. If he would have been a
The whole
bit
team
hotter,
disappeared.
yeah,
If
except for Judge, honestly,
if Judge and
truth be
Stanton,
told.
First time ever.
you can have Judge and Stanton by themselves on one team, and they would have carried that team.
The
Absolutely.
pitching was incredible, by the way. Like, Fried, incredible performance in that playoff game we went to against Boston. Didn't fucking matter because Luke Weaver decided to give up 2 runs in the seventh inning.
That was
And then
bad.
you
Oh
and then
man,
you want
that
to
was
talk
bad.
about Cam's performance with the season on the line. That's when we knew he was gonna be the guy
Rookie,
moving
12
forward.
strikeouts,
13. 13.
13 strikeouts.
It was
It was an
13.
absolutely beautiful performance. I remember watching that game too. That was fantastic. But
You remember
like
watching
I
that game?
said, the
This kid
bats.
LARPing heavy. This kid is such a LARPer, bro.
What are you
You want
talking
to know
about?
why he's such a LARPer? We had practice that night and we couldn't fucking watch the game and we were pissed about it. This kid is a fucking LARPer, dude. Look at
Yo,
this
we
guy.
caught the end of
No,
it.
I
We
called
caught.
him on his shit. I called
Yo,
him on
nah,
his shit,
we
dude.
caught the end of it. We caught the end of it.
This fucking yeah, after
Actually,
fucking Cam was getting pulled out the game, like what are we talking about?
when was that? Early October.
Yes, bro.
Hauled your ass out.
Oh, so we weren't even in rugby playoffs yet.
No, bro. We were still
Yeah.
in full
No, well, you know
swing
what? We caught
season.
the end of the game. We caught the end of the game to watch
Yeah,
them
this kid's a
advance.
fuck. I remember watching this. Is this guy LeBron James, dude? Like,
Well,
what a
guys,
fucking
I caught the replays.
yo,
Yo,
this
listen, you
fucking
know what?
guy.
We made it farther. We made it farther than the Mets, and that's all that matters at the
At the end of the day, the Yankees are in dire need of some offensive help. We lost everybody pretty much. All of our main power, all of our main bats, all of our main offense, and we ultimately need to really get another fourth outfielder. We need to call Lombard up and we need to get after it, chase down the Rays because I think, like I told you guys earlier, first place is going to make all the difference. I think it's going to be a cakewalk if we get to first place, and I think if we don't get a cakewalk, it won't be, well,
It ain't
I'm a
gonna
little
be sweet.
tipsy, boys. I'm a little tipsy. All right, I'm a little tipsy.
Shit ain't gonna be sweet.
Yeah, so you get the point. But you guys have anything to say to wrap this up or what?
Well, I just think that you guys need to be heavy buyers. I don't think you guys are gonna do it, off of what's happened in past seasons. I feel like you guys have been very conservative, but I think you guys need to be heavy buyers, get some bats, get someone at least for the outfield, someone that's not a big name, but reliable enough to where you could play him every day. But I think you guys need to be heavy buyers.
I feel like I'm back
Mike?
in my rack. I feel like I'm back in my rugby wrap ups where I'm latching off other people right now. I mean, I agree with Justin. I think that we need to ball out this off season. We really do.
Yeah,
I know we
guys, what the other guys said. What the other guys said.
I know we got to spend. Well, I know we spend a lot of money as it is, but I think that we could spend even fucking more, and we're not doing it because Cashman is being a
But
little.
that's why the easy answer here is to pull up Lombard. I'm telling you, that's the obvious answer here. That's
Yeah,
the
obviously we
easiest
need to
answer
fucking
here.
pull up. We need to pull up Lombard. There's no other fucking
It
option.
really better happen soon, or else
There's
I'm
no
actually gonna
question.
rage
There's
out.
no question. There's no fucking question that we got to pull up Lombard. There never was a question
Mm.
about it.
So we
Unless you
just
trade him.
Why would we fucking trade? Are you fucking stupid? Why would we fucking
Never
trade?
know.
you're gonna
Never
get the
know.
Who would
dog
we
shit
trade him
slapped
for?
out of you.
Never know,
Who would
buddy.
we fucking trade him
It
for?
better be
I mean,
fucking
hey, I'll
Tariq
take him.
Skubal. It better be
The
fucking
Mets,
Tariq Skubal if we're trading
the
him.
Mets will, the Mets will
No, if
take
we're
him with open
trading Lombard,
hands.
we better trade him for fucking Otani.
All
Like,
right, that's reaching, buddy.
Bugging.
You are
Yeah, this guy.
fucking reaching, pal. First, the guy says, the ceiling is 12 wins and the floor is 2 wins. Like, what are we talking about here? Now the guy said with these hot takes he's got here
what
going,
are you
it's like,
talking about?
I'm just saying, Mike. It's like,
Bring
you
back
got to
Gleyber
zero it
Torres.
in. You got to
Bring
zero it
back
in.
Gleyber
Oh,
Torres.
here we go. This
Bring
got
back
cut out
Gleyber
the last
Torres.
episode, but it's gonna
Bring
get
back
cut out
Gleyber
again.
Torres. I miss
Anyway,
Gleyber Torres. I miss
Anyway,
him.
anyway, speaking about the things that have been going well and the reason we still have continued to play so well through all of these injuries are the fact that our pitching has been absolutely phenomenal. One guy in particular has been otherworldly, generational, some may say, and his name is Cam Schlittler. What a
Boston.
performance on Friday, Michael. What a performance on Friday. 12 Ks, 7 scoreless, only 3 hits. The guy won me like $100 on a parlay. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That is just an all-worldly performance. And I think if there was any questions about him being a Cy Young, doing that against the Philadelphia Phillies, who have been hot as of lately, and their
Did we
bats have
sweep
been.
them?
No,
Did we?
I think we lost a game or two. Again,
I
I
think
don't
you
know.
lost one.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah,
We
we
won the
won
series.
two. We won two. We lost one. We won the
We
series.
won the series, and that's all
Yeah,
that matters.
but to put those guys down like that, I mean, it's a tough batting lineup. Even with Brandon Marsh this season, all of a sudden, he's been, he's an all-star. He's been really good, and I don't know. How are you feeling about this pitcher? I mean, it gives us something to be excited about during a really tough time, Mike. I don't know how, and then followed right up by Freed having another good performance. So I mean, it's
So
been special.
what I think is that Cam Schlittler is what the Yankees wanted Luis Heel to be. I think they did because they had a lot of belief in him. And I think that because Cam's been playing so well, a lot of people have forgotten about Luis Heel. And I know since his injury, he hasn't been good and all this other stuff. But I think Cam Schlittler, if he continues to go at the pace that he's
This
at,
kid is so drunk. This kid is so hammered. Do
if
you
Cam,
see what he's,
yo,
You know what he's
bro?
saying.
if
This kid
Cam
is so
Schlittler,
hammered.
I will say this now: if Cam Schlittler keeps playing at the level that he's playing at for being in year two, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, without a doubt. And there's no question about it.
I
The
think,
biggest
listen,
Boston,
Boston Red Sox
We
fans.
said the same shit about Luis Heel his rookie year, dude. Let's not jump to fucking conclusions here.
Yeah, but
Let's
fucking
calm
Luis
down a
Heel
little
got
bit.
fucking hurt. Luis Heel got
And who
fucking
says
hurt.
Cam can't? He's
That
throwing a 102-mile-an-hour
that's
fastball, bro.
Because here's
The,
the
that's what
those
I
thing.
was gonna
guys,
hold on. Hold on, that's what
Because
I was gonna touch on too. Like, he's doing great. He's doing great right now, but is it gonna keep on going that way? Like, let's say he goes down with an injury. Is he gonna come back to
well,
be
in
the
my
same
opinion,
person
that's
he was
that's the
now,
only
you
thing
know?
that could stop the guy right now. I mean, he looks inhuman.
I
Eh,
don't even think a fucking injury can stop him. I think he'll come back and
well, obviously, an
he'll be
injury is
just as
gonna
good.
stop him, Michael. Like, what are we
Well,
talking about?
think about it.
Like, obviously,
At
an
the
injury
time,
is not
yes,
gonna stop.
obviously a fucking
Obviously, it's
injury is
gonna
gonna
fucking
stop.
stop him.
Bro, an injury is gonna stop everybody.
Okay, buddy.
But when he comes, say he gets injured and then he comes back, he's gonna be playing at the same level. There's no question about it.
Oh,
There's a reason why people are having trouble with hitting three different kinds of fastballs in his fucking arsenal. Because he's so fucking good at it. He's so fucking good at what he does that it doesn't matter.
His cutter is pretty gross. He might have the best.
Exactly.
He might have the best cutter in the league, and I'm not even
Exactly. And
saying
that's what
that
I'm
to be
saying.
all,
biased. And he
all,
might be the best cutter in the league.
all
And you
it takes is
schmucks are
one
talking
injury, and
shit.
he can just lose. He can lose everything, though. He's doing
Kind of
great
like
right
Nolan
now.
McClain.
I would never wish an injury on anyone. But if it were to happen, it could always
Kind of like
Yeah,
could
Nolan
always
McClain
lose.
without the
Where
I
injury.
I can't believe that Garrett Cole's been as good after his injury as he has been. I mean, Tommy John at his age, you'd expect him to come back and not be too good, but
well,
he's been pretty
well, there's a
solid.
lot of people. There's a lot of people that they get Tommy John surgery and then they just throw quick. They throw faster than they've ever thrown. So like
Yes,
sometimes,
because of the mechanics of the operation. Yes, sometimes pitchers have been better off, but ultimately it's still a tough thing to recover from. It's a year off of
yeah,
year plus
yeah.
off of baseball. I mean, he was out for over a year. Think about it, right? He threw his arm out in spring training and he didn't come back till about a quarter to a third through the season of this year, and that's over a year, over a season and a third that it took him to come back. And yet his first performance, I was there, you were there, we were all there for that game. And somehow he still pitched pretty well. We still lost because Michael has the curse of the Yankees on his side. Been
But he
to
had a
how
four
many
pitch inning.
Mike, how many games have you been to?
Six.
How many games have you seen a win?
Zero.
Yeah, he's not coming to playoffs with us. It's just me
Yeah,
and
but
the
he had a
Reaper
four
going
pitch
this year.
inning. He had a four pitch inning. I will say that. He had a four pitch inning, and it was pretty immaculate. And I tried to bring that up to Reaper and Tony B, and Tony B started getting mad at me because I wasn't drinking enough.
Didn't Volpe hit a home run to where we were
No,
sitting or no?
Austin Wells. Austin
No,
Austin
Wells.
Wells, that's who it was. Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't Austin Wells. It was not
Yeah, it
Austin
was.
Wells.
Who
It
Yeah,
was
was
it
it?
was.
Paul Goldschmidt. I promise you, it was Paul Goldschmidt that
No,
hit the
because we
home
were
run.
getting drinks. We were getting drinks and we were getting
No, you
beers.
weren't getting drinks. It was
Oh
What are
me and
you
Bressler
talking
yes,
getting
about?
drinks.
yes,
What
you're
are you
right.
talking
Yes.
about?
No,
Fucking
no,
It
no.
was
The
beers.
me and
Reaper's right.
Bressler
The
getting
Reaper's
drinks.
right. The Reaper is right. But then later in the game, I thought somebody else at home. Maybe it's a different game I went to. I'm thinking of a
No,
different game.
Stanton, that was when Stanton put a fucking hole in the wall and Judge almost hit the home run in the
Yes,
ninth.
yes, yes. And
All
then
I gotta say is you guys have never seen back to back to back home runs at a Yankees game.
and you've
I
never
have in
seen a
person.
Yeah, and you've never seen a championship in your lifetime for any of your, well, the Knicks now, I
Yeah,
guess,
what
but
what was that? Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
the
Fix
Knicks now.
yourself,
I
No,
can't,
but
I
buddy.
we're
can't.
Fix
talking
yourself,
baseball. It's
buddy.
solely baseball. It's solely baseball. So, yes, you haven't
Fix
seen a
yourself.
championship. Solely
Anyway,
baseball tonight. You haven't seen a championship.
so yeah, so Cam just
Last time
absolutely,
you saw one, you were like, what, four?
Five.
well, he just saw one too. What are you talking about?
Well, no, no. He
No,
said strictly
this is solely
baseball.
baseball tonight.
So we got a new segment on the podcast today. We're gonna do it every other episode, probably every episode, or once a week. We haven't quite decided this yet, but we call it the Tri-State Triple, and it's where one of us is assigned per episode, or whichever way we decide it, to come up with a list of a top three of something relevant to current day sports in New York. And so today's first assigned person was JK the Reaper. And what do you got for us today, Justin?
So my top three list, Perez or Terens. Holmes and Weaver, I think they're both gonna go.
So
Tyrone
wait, let me
Taylor,
just be clear. This is
yeah.
just like a list of what exactly?
My top three list of what? Oh, sorry, I fucked up. I should have said the top three list of this trade deadline.
Okay, gotcha. Just needed to clarify that, JK.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking a
So
little,
the top,
JK the Reaper.
speaking a little sideways here because of the fucking Jack on the rocks here, bud.
indeed. So hold on. So top three list for the trade deadline. Make it clear now. The Mets are going to go on a fire sale. They're going to get rid of one of their catchers. I already said Alvarez, Torrens. One of them is going to go. Holmes, Weaver. I think both of them are going to go. Tyrone Taylor. I think he's making a great market for himself right now. He's been showing out recently. And then hopefully maybe the Mets could get rid of Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio, one of the younger guys that aren't really a fit on our team anymore, but I'd like to see a few of them go. What are you guys' takes on that?
Why
Yeah,
would you want to get
obviously.
rid of Brett Beatty?
Well, because he's very hit or miss now. I mean, he can play everywhere, but he's not great in the outfield. He's not really great at first base. He's really a second base, third baseman player, but they're trying to make him play everywhere, and it's just he's not our utility guy.
So you don't think
So
that at a certain point, maybe it's August, September, that if they find Beatty in the right spot, they wouldn't want to keep him for the long term? Especially because he's not on a
well,
super long term contract. He's not getting paid a lot.
don't well, yeah, he's still on his rookie contract. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love for Brett Beatty to stay. I still have a little bit of faith in him, but I think there's just really not a fit anymore unless we give Marcus Simeon the boot like next year or two, just like kick him out.
Yeah.
Then I could see Brett Beatty becoming our everyday second baseman, but I think I think we would get some good value for him if we were to trade him.
Now, one more question before I pass it off to Tony B. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Luis Robert Jr., where is he at right now?
So he came back from injury. He's back. He's now playing, but they're still easing him in. He just came back recently, so
Do you
they're
think they would get rid of him?
I think they would. Yeah, I think he's also on the market too. I mean, I could see them getting a decent haul for him. I mean, we did give up a good haul to get him this season, but I think if we get something around the same value as what we gave up, we would get rid of him too.
He came from the White Sox, right?
Yeah.
You think they would trade him back to the White Sox or any sort of AL team?
I he could go to an AL team, but I don't see him going back to the White Sox.
All right, Tony B, you got any questions?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Number three on the list there. Can't believe it's not number one, to be honest. Obviously, they're going to be big sellers here at the deadline. I think that's
That's
pretty
why it's number
obvious.
three because it's obvious.
All right,
So
what's
now,
number two?
so now we're gonna go on to the second on the list. I think the Yankees are 100% gonna go for an outfielder, and I think that the Mets and the Yankees might come across a deal and you know get a trade going for Tyrone Taylor. I would hate to see Tyrone Taylor leave the Mets, but if we can get a good trade going on, I wouldn't want to give him up for nothing to the Yankees, but I could
What
see
would
the
you
Yankees and the Mets getting a trade going for Tyrone Taylor.
what would you want for Tyrone Taylor from the
I,
Yankees?
I'm not really 100% sure. I would like some young prospects. Some people that could have potential in the future, or we could use them as pieces in trades in the future. Just a nice little haul for them.
Okay.
I'm getting to the point now where it's like, what do the Yankees really even have to give up at this point? Other than like Will Warren as a pitcher or like Camilo Duvall as a bullpen guy, like I'd be willing to move. But other than that, like what do we really have? We're not getting rid of Lombard. Obviously, we need Spencer Jones now. And we're certainly not going to get rid of Dominguez because he's another one of those guys that ultimately we really need right now. I don't know who the Yankees are. Everybody, we're talking about like big trades here for the Yankees and possibly trades with the Mets. Unless it's some, low key, triple A or double A guy, I just don't know who you guys are going to get in return. And that's just my honest opinion on that situation. I think it's either
I
I think the Yankees, if they're going to go after somebody, they got to go after someone bigger and they have to demand, someone bigger in return. Like they have to give up Duvall or give up, Warren to get one of those guys. So I don't know,
I
but
think yeah, I think though you guys aren't going to go too big of players because in the past they haven't done crazy trades. So I think Tyrone Taylor's just in that perfect spot where we can get a trade going, for some good and I
yeah,
know hold on,
let's
sorry. And
just
I know you were
clarify.
saying yeah.
Recently, they haven't done anything crazy. I mean,
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Cashman did have a very, has a pretty big resume of being relatively aggressive in the past. I mean, we're talking like, like all those big trades he made. Stanton, he's has a history of being relatively aggressive, just not in the last couple years. And is that really Cashman's fault when we think about it, or is guys above him
Yes.
telling him? Yeah, but are guys above him telling him, hey, we don't really want to spend that kind of money?
I'm sure the guys above him want to spend the money just because we're such a prestigious franchise. And they want to see
Steinbrenner,
us.
like I said on the
The
last
last
episode,
time we won a
Stein
championship. Think about the
Steinbrenner's
last time we
not
won a
like his father
championship.
was. He's not like his father was. This is the
But you
truth,
also have to
Julie.
think about the last time. The last time that we won a championship was 2009.
They
Think about that.
would barely even get around to paying Judge when his contract was up. And you want to talk about them spending money here, Mike? Like, let's be real. Uh,
I
that's the
mean, we
truth.
are being real. We are being real. Say Judge needed a new contract next year, they would have paid him. They so would have. They 100% would have paid him. But also you have to think about like Judge doesn't play for the money. Judge plays because he wants to be a Yankee for life, and he said that in his past interviews.
This
Like
is true. This is true.
you can't base it off of a guy who's committed to his organization. You have to
That's
look at
fair.
it based off as like a guy who's looking for money, like Soto,
Okay.
like fucking
Yep.
Soto. You
Yeah,
know,
so I think
so
that's a good take. I think it's a good take relatively, Justin. I do think the Yankees and the Mets could very well engage in some kind of trade. I don't know if it's going to be for, Taylor, but he was one of the guys I was thinking about, obviously, as I said earlier. But I also wouldn't
I think he
mind,
would perfect for you guys.
So I don't know,
Hate to
but
see it, but
what's number one on the list for you today?
so number one on the list, this is going to be a little controversial here. I think the Yankees are going to sell off Spencer Jones this year at the trade deadline. I don't know for exactly what it could be for, maybe it's a package deal like
I
they
don't doubt
get
it.
they get an outfielder and a catcher or somewhere where you guys are weak, but I think they're going to end up ultimately selling him off this year.
I don't doubt it.
I wouldn't necessarily say that you're wrong, but I will say that I think it makes it really difficult with this Bellinger injury. I think it makes it so difficult because we're so thin at the position now. And it makes
But
it
you trade him off and you get another outfielder, and then you're not really thin there
What's the
anymore.
point in that, though? What's the point in that? Honestly,
I
You get someone
unless it's
that's
a big
proven.
time guy, then all right. But if we're just trading, a guy for a couple weeks, I'm not giving away one of our best prospects for that. I have no
So
desire to do
now
that.
let
So
let
I'm not
me.
opposed to what you're saying. I'm just saying that I think there's a better chance of them. I think the two guys, I'm gonna say this right now, the two guys that are the most on the trade block of being traded right now are Will Warren and Camilo Duvall. Those are the two guys. in my opinion. Spencer Jones, sure, if it's for someone very, very significant. Other than that, I think they have no desire to do it, and personally, I agree with them. So,
Now, would you hate it if, just hypothetically, the Mets and the Yankees got a trade going for Tyrone Taylor and either Luis Torrens or Francisco Alvarez? Would you hate that?
for Spencer Jones,
Well, Spencer Jones maybe add another lower end prospect, you know.
that's a tough place to be in. It's a presentable trade. I think I'd have to think about it a little bit, but I'm not
Personally,
a
as a
hundred.
Mets fan, I wouldn't be happy with that, but just
I'm not
hypothetical.
100% opposed to it. I'm not. I mean, I think Spencer Jones has a lot left to still give. I mean, the kid's barely had an opportunity so far, so he could be really special for all we know. But yeah, I mean, I'm at the kind of the point with the Yankees right now where we're running out of time with our guys. So are we going to win now, or are we still concerned about the future? And that's kind of goes back to my point about the Lombard thing. Like, it's time to pull him up. We can't keep thinking about, oh, what's going to happen down the line? Oh, if we pull him up for, a couple games, then that affects the fact if there's ends up being a lockout this offseason. I mean, we haven't even talked about that, right? Like, if they pull him up to the main roster here and then there's a lockout, he can't play AAA if he was pulled up to the roster. So when you think about stuff like that, it's like, yeah, but at this point, we got to win now. And I think a possible lockout, even proves that even more. That's another, possible less amount of time that the Yankees have with this core, with these guys. I mean, Jazz is likely gone after this year. A couple of these guys are likely gone, and I don't think it's going to be any easier of a path than it is this year. Truthfully, like I think this is as easy as it's going to get because I think there's some young teams that are up and coming that by next year are going to be hard to beat. For example, like you said earlier, the White Sox. For example, like we've talked about previously, you know, the Pirates can possibly come up. There's a couple.
You can even throw the A's in there. Like
I was gonna say that, yeah.
you
Yep.
got guys like Kurtz, Jacob Wilson, like those guys, like they can make something special out of that team. And to latch off what both of you said, like I wouldn't hate a Tyrone Taylor trade. You know, like right now, me personally, I don't believe Trent Rick Grisham is, you know, doing all that well either. You can even throw him in the trade package, but I don't think
I don't
that
like
we
them
would
either, Mike.
trade.
It
I
goes back to what
Grisham.
Justin said. I really don't think we can afford.
I
We
like Trent
just
Grisham,
can't
and don't
afford
get me
right
wrong,
now.
I don't think we can afford it either. And I think the team that we have now is a very solid team. But you know,
I think there's no way that
say
you guys are getting rid of Trent Grisham because he's on a rental contract and it's a decent amount of money and I don't think
say
and you guys need him. I don't think you're gonna get rid of him.
say that say towards the playoffs, we have those guys back, right? And we miss out on opportunities like certain guys like Byron Buxton and stuff like that, you know. And we make it to the World Series, and we lose by Game 6 or Game 7. Cashman's going to have a lot of thinking to do and a lot of time to think about. And like obviously, we have the off season and stuff like that. But why not affect how the game is played now? I mean, obviously, we're talking about solely baseball, but look at what the Knicks did. They traded for Jose Alvarado. They traded for bench players like that, and look where it brought us. It brought us to a fucking championship. Why can't the Yankees do that?
They
Because
traded for
Cashman,
Jose Alvarado,
because
bench
Cashman
guys
is
like that.
afraid. Because Cashman is afraid to make big moves like that, and that's why he hasn't brought up George Lombard like that yet. He hasn't brought up these certain guys.
It really
I'm sure
pisses me off the way you pronounce his name. Can I just say that? George
George
Lombard.
Lombard.
George
George
Lombard. There you
Lombard.
go. It's not Lombard. There's no space in between.
Yo, can you
It's
relax? I'm a little Buzzolini right now. Can you fucking calm
I'm
yourself?
just saying, dude, it's been pissing me off all episode. I kept my mouth shut, but now I'm gonna say something.
But it's like you've seen with what other teams have done and making like small trades that have impacted their teams. Why can't Cashman do that? So, yes, we get rid of Spencer Jones. We get rid of a bunch of other prospects, but we've seen what the prospects that we have brought up have done, and they've been nothing but mid. They have a good month. In fucking April,
Cam
that's not
Schlittler.
when it matters. That's not when it matters. Okay,
Cam Schlittler.
Can you name anybody outside of Cam Schlittler besides Cam and Aaron
Jason
Judge?
Jason Dominguez has been okay. He's been all right, especially as of
Okay,
lately.
okay at best. But that's not going to bring us what we had back in 2009. We're supposed to be a prestigious,
We
like
had the fucking four Hall of Famers on that team. That's five Hall of Famers on there.
we're supposed to be the greatest franchise in MLB history, and we have teams that are making us look like fucking jokes. We can't have that. It's not supposed to be
I
like
want
that.
to
And
get
I
to
get
that
this
point.
time.
I hear you, Mike. No, I hear you, Cutlets, but I wouldn't take it that far. I really wouldn't take it that far. You say we look like a joke. We're in second place. A
But
joke is
also,
is when you go across the river there and go to Queens and you look at the fucking the New York Mets. That's a joke. You want to talk about a joke?
but
That's a
look at
fucking
what the
joke.
A's did to us earlier in the season. They
Let me
beat
hold on.
us
Let
in
me
the
let me correct you
series.
here. You're in fourth place. Fourth.
Look at what the
The
A's did to
division,
us.
dumbass. Second place in the division.
Look at what the A's did to us in that one
Glad you
series
fixed
earlier this
yourself.
semester or semester and earlier in the season. Like they beat us and they
Yo,
beat
this
us
kid is
great.
toast.
I am toast. I'm toasted as fuck. I don't
Yeah,
care.
let's see the bottle. Let's see the bottle.
The bottle's gone. The bottle's fucking
Oh
gone.
my,
No,
that
that's
bottle
not.
was
No, no, no.
full when we started.
No. Grab the bottle on your other side, buddy.
The bottle is by my fridge. This is the new bottle. Word to everything I love. On everything I love on Tyler's fucking ashes, bro. This is the new bottle. This is
Mm.
gone. This is gone. This is gone. I can
Anyway,
even
yeah,
see
Justin, I think Reaper, I think that was a pretty solid list. I don't completely agree with the first take, and I think I would have put the fire sale for the Mets at number one. I think that's the most
Important.
obvious part of the list out of everything. Which is why I think it should have been number one. But other than that, I don't think I don't hate the list. I think it was a solid first tri-state triple there for us.
Clap it up for Justin. Clap it up for Justin. All right, you're not gonna clap it up for Justin.
Anyway, as we
Fucked up.
continue here on the
You're not gonna clap
podcast,
it up for Reaper. That's fucked up.
yo, we can't let this kid drink during a pod, bro. What is he talking about over here,
I'm
bro?
clapping it up for my boy. He's
What is
starting up
this
the new
guy,
segment.
bro?
Segment opener.
Yeah, this is funny. All right.
Anyway,
So,
so
anyways,
so
Tony B, what were you saying?
yeah, so gentlemen, I mean, I think that's about all we really got to talk about for today. I think we really got to a couple good points to sum everything up. Cam, what a performance on Friday. Let's hope that all continues. I definitely think the injury bug has been a problem for the Yankees. It will continue to be a problem. Let's hope, they don't continue to stack up anymore. Let's hope that was, the last big one. Let's hope Stanton and Judge can come back sooner than we're expecting them to. So Bellinger could come back sooner than we're expecting him to. And let's hope, over these next couple days, the Yankees make a big move or two that, will have us talking here on the podcast.
Hunter Goodman.
Um, so other than that, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys joining me here today. Appreciate all the fans, all the listeners joining us here today.
You
Um,
guys, you guys have anything that any input? Please leave it in the comments below. We'll touch on it next episode as well.
like the Reaper said, any comments, any suggestions, anything you guys have, please let us know. We are a work in progress here. You know, we're just a couple of friends trying to have a good time, talk about sports, the teams we love. You know, have a couple of drinks alongside it, as you could see. But we're ultimately here for your
Couple.
entertainment.
A couple.
And any suggestions you guys have, please reach out, leave a comment, like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, it helps us. Other than that, I am Tony B. These are my two other hosts with me. See how I did that, Michael?
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
shut up, bro. Shut up. Shut up.
Cutlets
Shut up.
and
Appreciate you
JK
not
the
big
Reaper.
dipping on,
Shut
big
up.
dicking us.
Cutlets and JK the Reaper here. And other than that, we'll see you
Cutlets
next
is
time.
going to bed.
I'm playing Fortnite.